Jefferson, how many people do you have on your team? Okay. Jefferson and goes to a door-to-door thing and sees Coach Burt. And Coach Burt's talking about his framework for building monster producer salespeople. Okay? Pray drive, explanation of service, selling system. And he comes to this realization, Dave, we don't have a framework like that. Our salespeople need a framework. Everybody see that? How many sales teams do not have a framework for selling?
So many.
Okay. How many of them don't have an explanation of service? How many of them do not have a selling system or prospecting system? How many do not have a follow-up? How many do not have, right? Liz, you work for a company. You were out there selling. What did they give you to go sell? Nothing. Folks, I'm working with billion-dollar companies that do not have a selling system. I'm like, how do we explain our services that's consistent across the board? They're like, well, we don't have that. How do we prospect every day? We don't have that. How long does everybody prospect here? We don't have that. What's our 7-touch follow-up around here on leads? Oh, we don't have one. How are we extracting referrals out of all these clients? Guess what? We don't have one. How are we making our people of interest so they're known? Guess what? We don't have one. Well, that is my system. Okay? And really what you need is this system. Okay? So what we're going to do is, what I'd like to do is propose for me to coach your people over the next 6 months through that system. Right? And when we have that system, now you're going to be able to hold people accountable to that system. So that speaking engagement now turns into, let's just say it's whatever, 5, 10, 15, 20,000 a month, right? And they're like, oh yeah, I pay 5,000 a month for my people to be trained through that system. You're selling a methodology. Now we've taken a speaking engagement to a coaching contract. Everybody see that? And I don't know how many of these I have, but a bunch. I have a bunch of companies paying me $5,000, $7,500, $10,000 a month, to where I come in 2 times a month on a Zoom and coach their people for 6 months, and each month is a part of the system.
Has it always been on Zoom, or is that new?
Well, it used to be in person,
Yeah.
but now it's on Zoom. Now, guess what? What if you say, well, we don't want to invest that much money? Tell you what I got. I got an online academy, and the online academy is $1,850 a month, and you can get all your people on it. They could train every single day through the system, right? Okay, so now we're moving, when we come back from the break, we're moving to Matt speaks, and that's good. And he picks up 10 people for his $997, and that's good. To Matt speaks at the National Association of Realtors, and a big owner of a big brokerage, when they're everywhere, says, you know what? We want to hire that dude right there to coach all our people. And Matt now takes the speaking engagement and says, for me to coach your people, it is whatever, right? So let me take an example. This book, everybody needs a coaching life. Savio in Barnes & Noble's, Houston, Texas. The president of Hotze Health and Wellness walks in. She's a big reader. She sees this book. She reads it. She goes, oh my gosh, I love this. She immediately goes online and starts watching my YouTube videos. She goes to the president of the owner, Dr. Hotze, #1 energy guy in the world, and says, look, we got to have this guy coaching us. They initially called me to speak at one of their company events. Okay, I couldn't speak. I was already booked. He said, well, you need to come to Houston. I go to Houston. I spend a day with their people. Okay, he's like, look, we want you to be our coach. We took that book. I went and spoke one day, and we turned that into a $250,000 coaching contract, where I went to Houston one day a month, coached all of his people start to finish. Everybody see that? Speaking, okay, book, speaking. I have 200 employees. I want you to come to Houston every month and coach our people. Part of that contract meant every one of those people was in the online academy, watching my online academy every morning. So they're paying for the online academy, plus they're paying for me to come to Houston. I think they're paying $16,000 to $20,000 a month for me to do that. And that is a coaching contract.
How long is that contract?
That was a 1-year agreement with an option for renewal. Then they went to a 2nd year. Then my 3rd year was a promotional contract, which meant I was being paid to mention him when I spoke, to embed that in my talk. Okay, and they drove referrals from that, so like an endorsement deal. Okay, everybody see that? Now, as a result of that, guess how many referrals they got? 26. 26 referrals, annualized out at $10,000 apiece, was $260,000 of business for him for me just to mention his name and tell people to go to him. Plus, I believe in him. I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe in him. Okay? Now, everybody see how we're now taking a book, turn into a speaking engagement, turn into a $997 coaching program, turn into a $200,000 coaching agreement. Can everybody see the formula? Okay, is it blowing your mind yet?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because this is how I want you thinking, is you need to see the whole board. Okay, and the book is an asset, but let's not call it a book. Let's call it a message. I have a message. The message solves your problem. If I give it with some gusto, you're going to like it. If you do, you're going to want to do more. Now, what else can I do with you? Oh, well, I speak, I coach, I train, I lead. I've got online academies. I've got boot camps you can come to. I've got licensing deals. Everybody see that? You can have an office at my Greatness Factory. You can come on the jet with me. You can, see what I'm saying? Ever how you want to eat the ice cream, I don't care. It's up to you. You just pick how you want to do it. You want to write a book with us? We can write the book for you. Okay, now when we come back, I'm going to do that, and then also I'm going to have Kara show you the back end of the funnels that we do, because I want you to see that so you understand how we use the funnel to drive to something. Now, what do you drive? Why would you do a funnel, number one? The funnel drives people to something, okay? And you can target people. So I can say, find everybody that's like Jenica Drake in Pennsylvania. Find everybody that's like her. And those algorithms and Facebook can go out and make a lookalike audience and find every little person like you. We can target you with an ad, and you can hit that ad and drive you to a free webinar, drive you to an event, drive you to anything we want to drive you to. Okay? For me, right now, I'm using ads to drive people to my virtual summit. And I want to get 500 people on the virtual summit. Okay, so I can back end sell them to a $997 so they can come to the lodge, and then there's a $7,500 Mexico trip. Everybody see that? And it just keeps going. Okay, so when we come back, I'm going to show you how to do that. Fair enough?
Do you have the end game in mind as you plan this, like that Mexico trip?
I do now. I didn't used to. But now when I do something there, it's very intentional.
Coach, for one more question.
Yep.
When did you shift into that with the end game? What was the time when you shifted, if you think back?
A couple of years ago when I started to understand the promotion game with Cardone. You know, say what you want about Cardone. Some people like him, some people don't. It really doesn't matter to me. He is the best marketer in the game. And so what I learned from him is this constant concept of get people to something. Get them excited. Have something else for them to buy, right? That's his whole strategy. Free. I'm doing mentoring. Everybody needs a mentor in life. I'm going to mentor you, right? I'm going to get 50,000 people on this mentor call. He knows that only 5,000 are going to show up, and then he's going to offer them something, okay? And that's just the game. But it's not like he's not delivering value. Now, what I really respect about the dude is this. He has a target, and he's doing a webinar. Let's say the webinar is supposed to be 3 hours or 2 hours, and he's got a target that he's looking at on number of people he's selling. That dude will not stop until he hits that number. He gets to 3 hours, and it's like, he's got to quit, man. He'll just keep going. He's like, what number are we at right now? And he'll just go another hour. What number are we at right now? He would literally go 6 or 7 hours just to hit that number versus go, well, we didn't hit our target. And that's really what I respect about him, is he's a machine, right? And he's an incredible, now everything he does now, you do realize, is to get you to invest in the Cardone Capital. Of course. Everything he does. So it is everything that he does. And the reason I realized that is I was in Miami one day with him, and his office is subdivided. His office is, the executive suites are over here. Sales team for Cardone University is over there. And when I was with him that day, he didn't even go over there. He's over here working on real estate deals all day. Now, when he goes over there, guess who goes with him? The camera crew. He's like, I'm going over to the sales side. Y'all come with me. He goes over to those, Omar knows, right? Goes over to the sales guys. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I'm going to sit here and do a 10-minute meeting with salespeople, right? Then they capture that on camera, right? And then he goes right back over to the real estate side. And he works on them real estate deals all day long. And that's genius on his part because he figured out that side wasn't scalable like this side is. I can do real estate deals, and that's scalable. These people are feeder systems for this, for Cardone Capital, okay? And that's fine. That's the way his business model is set up. So what's the lesson here? And then we'll break. The lesson is, what I learned over my X number of years doing this was the depth of Covey. have depth, have a real methodology, have something that can move the needle. The marketing and promotion from Cardone. Learn how to promote and market, because if you don't, it don't matter how much depth you got. It really doesn't matter how good it is if you can't promote it.
And then Coach Burt's Prey Drive.
And then the pray drive, baby. That's right.